Hello and welcome back, and we're here with an update. As we know, Harry today was at court for the second day of the preliminary hearing in his claim against ANL. The Duke is part of a group bringing claims over allegations ANL carried out or commissioned illegal or unlawful information gathering. So today, the Duke of Sussex has released a very powerful witness statement where he has said he is determined to pursue the legal claim to hold Associated accountable for everyone's sake, end quote. From people.com, let's get into this. Prince Harry is speaking out, they say. Harry, who is in London this week for a legal case in which he and other prominent figures are suing Associated Newspapers Limited, ANL, the publishers of the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday, for illegal information gathering, submitted a witness statement in which he says he was made to adopt his family's policy to, quote, never complain, never explain, end quote, when dealing with the media. So Prince Harry says this, quote, following the death of my mother in 1997, when I was 12 years old, and her treatment at the hands of the press, I have always had an uneasy relationship with the press. He went on to say, however, as a member of the institution, the policy was to never complain, never explain. There was no alternative. I was conditioned to accept it. For the most part, I accepted the interest in my performing my public functions, end quote. However, Prince Harry said dating Meghan made him, quote, increasingly troubled by the approach of not taking action against the press in the wake of vicious, persistent attacks on, harassment of, and intrusive, sometimes racist articles concerning Meghan, end quote. He added, quote, the situation got worse with Meghan's pregnancy at the birth of their first child, Prince Archie, in May 2019. Prince Harry said he became aware that he had a claim against the news group newspapers over phone hacking that he could bring in 2018. He said, quote, the institution was without a doubt withholding information from me for a long time about NGN's phone hacking that has only become clear in recent years as I have pursued my own claim with a different legal advice and representation, end quote. Prince Harry added, quote, it's not an exaggeration to say that the bubble burst in terms of what I knew in 2020 when I moved out of the UK, end quote. Prince Harry and Meghan moved to her home state of California that year after stepping back as senior members of the royal family. So that's just the context. And then the article goes on to say, quote, to this day, there are members of the royal family and friends of mine who may have been targeted by NGN, and I have no idea whether they have or have not brought claims, end quote. He continued, quote, there was never any centralized discussion between us about who had brought claims, as each office in the institution is siloed. There is this misconception that we are all in constant communication with one another, but this is not true, end quote. So Harry went on to say that the claim was not just about him. He said this, very powerful, quote, I am bringing this claim because I love my country and I remain deeply concerned by the unchecked power, influence, and criminality of Associated. The evidence I have seen shows that Associated journalists are criminals with journalistic powers that should concern every single one of us. The British public deserve to know the full extent of this cover-up, and I feel it is my duty to expose it, end quote. What a powerful statement that is. And it is great to see that he is able to open up not only about how what they have done, the illegal practices have affected him and Meghan, but also touched on how they had affected other members of the British royal family, and he wants to do this for his country. The article goes on to say, after making a surprise appearance at the High Court on Monday, the Duke of Sussex returned on Tuesday for the second day of a legal case in which he, as I said before, and other prominent figures are suing ANL. The claimants allege in the lawsuit that unlawful practices, including the placing of listening devices in their cars and homes by private investigators and surreptitious recording of private telephone calls, the payment of police with corrupt links to private investigators for sensitive information, impersonation to obtain medical information from hospitals and care facilities, and illicit manipulation into accessing bank accounts, credit histories, and other financial transactions. The 4-day hearing will consider legal arguments from both sides and conclude with the judge's ruling on whether the case should go to trial. As we all know, associated newspapers are arguing that the case should be thrown out. So, isn't that powerful? He says that he has evidence that shows that associated journalists are, quote, criminals with journalistic powers. I think that's just so powerful. And he also said that in that statement that he had been, quote, vaguely aware of phone hacking in 2005 when it came to light that the royal correspondent and a private investigator working for the defunct News of the World tabloid, part of Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers NGN, were targeting the phones of royal aides. And it's quite interesting. When I read more of this statement from Reuters.com, they went on to talk about how when Prince Harry became aware of the fact that he had a claim that he could bring against NGN in 2018, he added this in a statement that brought a whole new perspective to the behind the scenes. Take a listen. He said this, quote, "However, there was in place an agreement between the institution and NGN that we would not engage or even discuss the possibility of bringing claims against NGN until the litigation against it relating to phone hacking was over. The institution was without a doubt withholding information from me for a long time about NGN's phone hacking," end quote. So that statement comes on the back of similar statements that he has made in Spare, where he spoke about the fact that the royal family with the press have that kind of relationship. It's a symbiotic relationship, as he said. And isn't that interesting that he was told of that agreement in place between the institution and NGN? I think this has gone to a whole new level. I want to know your thoughts on this, especially, as well as Prince Harry in his court document saying that the palace, Buckingham Palace, had withheld information from him about phone hacking. And he said he was exposing the alleged wrongdoings by tabloid, quote, criminals out of love for his country. So also in another part of his witness statement, he said that the institution had made it clear to him that members of the royal family did not appear in a court witness box as it could, quote, open up a can of worms, end quote. That line, can of worms, it does truly put it into focus when he spoke before and said that many times why they do not take on the press, and I'm talking now of the royal family. Harry said it before. There is the, quote, the invisible contract. There is also, as he said, an element of fear, because can of worms, what can that mean? Do they mean perhaps the tabloids spinning up the anti-monarchy sentiment if they realize that the royal family could go against them and try and make the public turn on the royal family as an institution? Or could it be the can of worms, meaning if perhaps there could be any kind of, quote, dirt on any of those members that the press have sat on, it would just somehow find its way to the light. So it is interesting. And you know what? For Harry to speak on this so candidly and openly, it truly is putting this spotlight on that relationship. And we're going to get more. And it is very thought-provoking to realize that there are people who can have such tremendous power, but somehow not be in a position to fully use it to the full because of, as he said, they don't want a can of worms being opened up on them. So it's food for thought for those who are, people who are staunch supporters of the monarchy. You want them to have, that moral upstandingness about them. That's why they are there. They're representatives of your country. They should not be in a state of fear, even to confront people who have done them wrong and they know that they know. So this is a very curious moment. I'm wondering where all this could lead, because as Prince Harry now just going up against them and taking the bull by the horns, this could lead to a lot more things coming to light. And I am so looking forward to this court case moving forward. And I hope I pray that the judge just decides that the case should go forward on behalf of the plaintiffs, because we need to uncover this. I do think people in the UK, people who want a responsible journalistic society, they need to stand up, make their voices heard, let the news be reported, let it not be, made up or manufactured, or let them not engage in these kinds of practices that have been outlined here in the claims and go unpunished. I think that's just across the board. You don't have to be a Prince Harry supporter to say, you know what, we don't want the tabloids working behind the scenes like that. And even if it's in the past, they should be brought to justice. I think everyone can agree to that. So this is not the worldwide privacy tour. This is Prince Harry saying some stuff happened, illegal stuff, criminal stuff, and he's calling it out. And kudos to him on that. And that's why it all ties back to him saying that he wants to hold Associated accountable for everyone's sake, in quotes. So he's exposing this, and the sad part of it is now we're getting to see the back end of those deals, those backroom deals between the press and the palace, whether it's using other members to prop up other members or having strange agreements in place where they don't even engage these outlets when they know fully well that they have taken part in illegal practices, even against them. That is quite strange, isn't it? I would like to repeat this. It is so brave for Prince Harry to take on the tabloids, because as I said before, they have a lot of power to shape people's opinions. And as we know, some of them take a lot of pride, not in reporting the news, but in creating it and manufacturing it. So right now, him taking them on, it is going to really take the public a lot of work on their part to sift through all of the retaliatory stories and the twisting of narrative and also the blatant lies, just to find the truth. I've heard also some people framing Harry being in the UK this week as him being on the worldwide privacy tour. Some people have tried to frame the fact that they are taking this legal action and they're saying he's suing over, quote, privacy. And we all know that he's suing because of the unlawful acts carried out by these journalists and private investigators working on behalf of ANL. And now we're seeing it. They have accused them of hacking their mobile phone messages, bugging their phone calls, and as I said, obtaining private information by deception or, quote, blagging, which is defined as the act of obtaining private or confidential information by impersonation or another method of deception. So it's about criminal activity right now. So as I said, this is quite the statement by Prince Harry. He is not holding anything back. And I think what we can all see by this statement, that he is a man on a mission. So this lawsuit is one of 3 cases in which he is involved in at the High Court. He's also suing the Mail for libel and is expected to appear as a witness in May to give evidence in a trial against the Daily Mirror newspaper over accusations of phone hacking. So I'm bringing you this news. Share your thoughts with me on this in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts. As always, before we log off, I would like to take a special moment to thank those who support this channel financially. Your support truly has been meaningful to me, and I would like to say thank you to a couple of you. I would like to say thank you to Kristen Rowe, a very long-time supporter of this channel. I appreciate your love and support. Thank you for choosing to support my work. Thank you. Thank you to Corliss J. McClendon as well. You are so special and dear to me. God bless you. Thank you for your tremendous love and support for this channel. A special thank you as well to you, Delcinia Preston, another longtime supporter of this channel. God bless you. I love you and I thank you and appreciate your support. And I appreciate you as well, Noreen Bengali. I always have you in my heart and I love you so deeply. Thank you for your love and your comments. God bless you. Now, a special thank you to those who gave through super thanks. Thank you to R.R. Carter. Thank you so much for your financial support. My sincerest thanks to you. I want to say God bless you. Thank you for your faithful giving to this channel. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel. Thank you. You have my sincerest gratitude. I appreciate you so much. For those who like, comment, and share, thank you so much. It also does help out the channel. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Now, if you liked this video, don't forget to click that thumbs up button and share. And also leave a comment down below and let YouTube know you enjoyed what you watched. I appreciate that. Leave your thoughts on all of this below. I love you all and keep you here for more uploads. If you want to watch my previous video, don't forget to click the cards or the videos here at the end screen. Click on them and I'll see you there. Have a great day and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.